Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Generation X Nation. Let's go, let's get it. We're gonna go ahead and do a quick commentary on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, y'all know I love my 3-minute wrap-ups, but sometimes I gotta do a real video. So with that being said, first things first, thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you left a message, I definitely respond back to you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. And hey, if you have a YouTube channel, I usually click on your name. If I see you got a channel, I will subscribe to you to help you get your numbers up. I will go over there and look at some of your videos, hit the like button and all that for you too, because I believe in helping each other over here. All right. I know there's a bunch of conglomerates of YouTubers who got thousands and thousands of followers. So us small people got to stick together at some point. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm going to be doing a quick commentary of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. And before we get started, always do my disclaimer. My commentary is based on week to week episodes. I don't have a dog in this fight. I do my commentary based on what I see on television, no more, no less. I usually do my commentary uploaded and then I will go look at what other people did, just to see if we on the same page. A lot of times we are. Now, with that being said, I understand that these shows are edited. So there may be things that have been cut out that we did not know. And also for Love and Marriage Huntsville, the way those episodes roll out, this stuff could have happened 6 months ago. We don't know. And a lot of this stuff that's we're seeing on the screen could already have been resolved. But for right now, we're going to pretend like we're in the day and time that this show is airing. Okay? Because I don't know if Destiny and Letitia are friends or not. But apparently, at this moment in time, they still mad at each other. So let's get started. Tish I'm sorry. Letitia's still mad at Nell and Destiny, and that's where it's starting out this season. All right. Also, I'm noticing some people are showing a little bit of growth, and then some people are still stuck in the same spot they've been in season after season after season. And I have to say this, as much as I like Tisha and Marceau, Tisha just stuck. She's stuck in the messy parts. Tisha has grown up over her eyes. Right in front of her eyes. I'm sorry. She's grown up right in front of her eyes physically, but mentally, she's still in season one. A lot of people in this show are still stuck in season one, two, three, whatever, and some people have moved on. And I will let you know when I get to the people who have matured somewhat. Now, let's talk about Tisha. Tisha shows up, not Tisha. Trish shows up to Tisha's house. They're going to do the catch-up thing. They're sitting on the couch. Tisha's like, hey, what's going on? How you been? We haven't seen each other since the party, the 90s or 90s party that they had, or 80s parties, whatever it was. And, Tish, you remember Tisha and Tish, it's just hard for me sometimes. I be getting them mixed up because I do talk a little fast. But Tish is sitting there, Trish, I'm sorry, is sitting there, telling her about the issues with Ken, and they had an argument because somebody on social media said they seen her out at the club with somebody. And then Letitia's saying, well, tell Ken he know better than believe what people say on social media. He got to stop believing that. Letitia, your whole issue a couple of seasons ago was about a group of people on social media. And y'all tried to drag them. Y'all hated social media, didn't want to go on social media, but then you realized that it gave you a lot more exposure. Then you started using social media. But I do agree with you in that sense. Ken should just scroll by the negative stuff. He knows Trish. He lives with Trish. I don't know why he believes what other people believe. But Letitia, being the person that she is, had to say, well, I've been told that Ken been in people's DMs, but that don't mean I believe it. Why'd you have to throw it out there? If you think it's not true and you don't believe it, why even tell Trish that? Because now Trish is sitting back there thinking, And then she lets her know Ken is now staying at Will's house, and I'm reconsidering this whole marriage thing. Trish, I don't know why Ken is at Will's house, but there's no way that would be the place I would send anybody that I was dating with a dude that has commitment issues, a bunch of children and baby mamas, and he's actually a handsome guy. And if he's at a bachelor pad, ain't no telling who running up in and out of there. I'm just saying. And then your little black chocolate man over there with him, girl, get Ken home if you plan on keeping him. If not, send him back to the streets. But staying at Will's house, you might as well have sent him back to the streets, to be honest with you. Now, they go over to to Nell and Chris Fletcher, and then it is already exposed that Chris has his license revoked slash suspended for some scrupulous dealings at a closing. That's all I say. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. Okay. Now Nell is sitting there a little bit worried because Nell is like, look, I am overwhelmed. She got her father living there with her. She got to run the business. This extra income is not coming in. And she's sure she needs a nurse, a nanny, and a program manager for her daycare. She needs a nurse probably to help out with her dad, I'm thinking, and a nanny probably to help out with the children. Because I know there was something with Lance dropping off the grandbaby in the previous season. So maybe they're still helping out with watching the grandbaby while he works. So I get it. And now it's like, and I have a whole loss of income. She said, "What is your plan for that?" And Chris is sitting there like, "Well, ain't no plan. I mean, you got the daycare and business, and we should be good. We got the cleaning company, and you about to open up a restaurant." And now looking at him sideways, like, "I know you lying." I'm like, Chris, I know you maintain a cool, calm demeanor, but I'm sure you got some savings somewhere where your answer should have been, well, I got a little bit of money saved up on the side. We can, use that. And then I can do, even though I can't sell houses, I can may go out and do some consulting for people, that want to appraise a house or something like that. Just find something like that or do home inspections or something. You could have told her something, just telling her, well, I don't really have a plan. You got these businesses. And then Nell it began, in return, she gets a little upset and she about to pop off on Chris. She said, it's just too much, just too much. And Nell, Chris, you know who you married to. That was not the answer. She was going to pop off. So Nell finally admits, like, look, Chris, I got you on my payroll. And I'm like, what? Your payroll? Hmm. Chris is on the payroll at the daycare, but Chris doesn't work at the daycare. He's a realtor. Sounds a little sketchy to me, but allegedly, but I digress. Well, we've seen what happened with the daycares in Minnesota. No, we're going to leave that alone. All right. Nell said, hey, Nell is just stressed out because she's trying to carry this family and she just really needs help. And, in the end, after they got through having their conversation, Nell gets up and go in the kitchen and I could see the tears coming out of her eyes. And that touched my heart because I really believe Nell is, in that moment, she was scared, a little afraid, and she was overwhelmed because she got to take care of her dad. She got the new grandbaby, I think she was assisting with. She got to run a daycare. Now she's financially responsible for the whole family. And you know how that family is. They always over there with their hand out borrowing money from people. So it's going to be a lot on Nell. And hopefully by now that issue has been resolved, but we're talking in real time, but we're talking right now where the episodes is at. Chris, I think you should have did more to make her feel a little better. You just kind of laid there just as calm. And that's how some people just have a calm demeanor. They don't get excited or stressed out about anything. And I think they hold it in. And Chris, in that moment, your wife just wanted you to hug her, tell her it's going to be okay. And I got some other stuff I can look into to bring in some income until this get fixed. That's what you should have told her. Just my opinion. As a person of a particular age, close to Nell and Chris' age, Chris, you should have known better. You ain't one of them youngsters out here, okay? We Gen X. We know how to handle stuff. And right then and there, you failed me as a Gen Xer. I'm probably going to have to, look at your credentials and see if you really from that Gen X life, Chris. Now, Kim and we move on to Kim and Maurice. They're sitting in the back, revisiting what they had discussed last season when Maurice mentioned, hey, if you can't be happy with me, you could be happy with somebody else. I'll be happy for you, whatever that was, however he worded that. Kimmy's still questioning that. Kimmy tends to hold stuff inside for a long time. And Maurice is not that type of person. So Kimmy is just like, Maurice, I really think you need to talk to me with a little bit more kindness and thoughtfulness. I think Maurice, jokingly said opposites attract, and he laughed, and Kimmy was serious like, see, that's not funny. I think Maurice, as long as they've been together, because she said they've been married for 7 years, and they was dating for 7 years and married for 7 years, so you're looking at about 14 years. Monster is on his way to college. They're going to be in the house by themselves, and in 14 years you still don't know your wife, Maurice. Maurice is who he is. He's probably been this way his whole life. And Kimmy, you married him in spite of. Because Maurice ain't just started being, you know, a man who doesn't think before he opens his mouth, a man who doesn't show compassion or empathy toward his wife. And Kim even mentioned the whole, went all the way back to, I don't know, season 2, 3, 4, when he was did the interview with Carlos and showing Carlos's face when he said the fact that she rolls over and endures it and takes it for me. And Carlos like, huh? But Kimmy, as I always said, you created this because you didn't set boundaries with him. You allowed him to talk to you anyway and treat you anyway because you wanted the title as wife and a husband. You told us you wouldn't chase after Maurice, so you got what you asked for. So to get on Beyonce's big internet and start complaining about Maurice is shocking to me because you got the man that you wanted to marry. Or maybe that's just, I don't know, me just talking out the side of my neck. But it seemed like to me you got the man you want to marry. Now, Maurice, you do need to go and get some make sure that you get something out of all this counseling you're doing. Kimmy is fighting for this marriage. I think you're fighting a little bit. I appreciate the fact that you sat down and actually told Kimmy that she's a wonderful person, a beautiful person, that you love her, and yada yada yada. Because I think she needed those words of affirmation from you. Because apparently your love language ain't that. Okay. And I think that's Kimmy's love language. You know, Maurice seems like your love language is more of the act of service. And you know what I mean by service. And Kim was okay providing that service, but she wants you to give her some affirmations. I love you. You're sweet. You know, you have a beautiful heart. You look nice today. That's what Kimmy's looking for you. And all you do is give her sarcasm. All you do is get smart with her. And I don't think that's, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think that's where Kimmy's biggest problem is. She wants to feel that she don't want to see you being condescending. She want to know that you love her inside and out. She want to hear kind words, thank you, please. When she tells you she feels a certain way, she wants to know that you heard her. Hey, I heard you, I'm listening to you, and I'm going to get better at that. You don't do that. It seems like you challenge everything she says. And I think that's just a problem. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on past that because I didn't talk long enough about them. Kimmy, that's the man you wanted. That's the man of your dreams. You can't fix him. All you can do is pray that he try to fix himself. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to Destiny. Destiny is now showing us her life. And Lord, if Destiny had done this, I don't know, prior to her old castmate leaving, showing this side of her, because none of this has to do with her child or her husband, her ex-husband. So I don't know why this shouldn't have been aired 3 seasons, 4 seasons ago. I think it would have pulled more people into you because your story is really amazing to me. And it's sad, but amazing. And we're finally getting to hear it. And how long have y'all been on the air? Why are we just now finding this out about Destiny? Okay. We knew that your dad raised you, your mother had problems, but who knew you had 8 siblings? Who knew one of your siblings passed away? Who knew you left your mom at 5? Who knew your mother still currently, having an addiction problem? All I knew was you left Detroit, moved to Huntsville, Alabama to stay with your dad, and went to school there. You and Martell was friends. There was so much more interesting in your life that you could have chose to show instead of fighting and harassing your ex-castmate all the time. And how is that working out for you now? And we'll get to that towards the end. So Destiny is sitting there with her father and her godmother. She tells us she hasn't seen her siblings in 27 years. All of her siblings that were born after she left went straight into foster care because of their mother's addiction. Do you know how much of a story that could have been? See, that's the stuff we want to see. We want to see that bounce back. Like, how did your life start? And now look where you at now. it would have made us so much more relatable to you as a human being. It would have made me understand why sometimes you pop off and you're so nasty at times because of your life experience. That right there, you ain't seen your siblings in 27 years. The last time you see your mother was 4 years ago at a funeral, and she was talking mad crap to you. We could have understood why you was upset with your castmates, why you was snapping off on people and fighting with Sonny and this and that, why you felt betrayed when, we could have understood you so much better. I don't know if it's too little too late because I'm thinking this show may or may not be renewed. We don't know. But God, if you would have showed some of this side of your family a long time ago, Destiny, I think you would have fared well better with the audience instead of just beating up and being nasty and riding with Martell and smart mouth in your own cast. If you would have just led with some of this, I mean, you did show your father once in a while. I understand you can't show your son because of the issue with your ex, but your family, they may not want to be on camera, but if you would have just showed yourself going to Detroit at least once, calling foster places, trying to figure out where your siblings at, oh my God, it would have made so much difference because it would have put a human interest behind you. Because we would always say, what does Destiny do? We don't know nothing about Destiny. We don't go to her house. We don't see this. We don't see that. Because y'all was so busy, center stage, center mass on one person. And now that person no longer there. And all of y'all are now forced to tell y'all stories. And all of y'all have interesting stories. But you didn't share because you were focused on somebody else's marriage. How about that? Now, after that, she said she's scheduling a meeting with her siblings and her mom's going to be there. And we've seen in the previews how that go. But I find it very interesting, Destiny. And kudos to you, for doing this. Congratulations for finding your siblings. And I hope to this current day that maybe y'all are in a good space with each other. But we don't know. As I said, I'm doing this based off what aired on Saturday night. Now let's move on to Martell, Chris, and Ken. If the Three Stooges was a person, and I don't even want to put Chris in there as a Three Stooges because Chris was trying to be the level-head person. Now Martell and Ken are sitting there, and as I said before, Ken, don't take no advice from Martell. Don't even allow Martell to tell you how to tie up your shoes at this point. Just don't. Martell is telling you that he. I'm sorry. Martell is telling you you need you a young woman, somebody you can train, somebody you can control. I don't trust any of these women because all they can, people liking their pictures all the time, and all they have to do is hit this or hit that, and they can go out to the club and find a man. Women got choices now. You think? Did you figure all that out before or after your wife left you, Martell? Did you figure that out? Because everything you describing, you did. She didn't do. You did. You ran off with women, did your little thing, people liking your post, telling you how cute you are. Same thing, Martell, but it was just reverse. So now you scared that Ariane may do that to you? And you said she don't go, you not letting her go anywhere without you. You got that girl locked down. Ariane, come to the front. If you need some help, send out a smoke signal or something. Because we ain't heard from you. I haven't heard anything Ariane been posting or seeing on social media. I don't really follow her, but sometimes she'd come up if she say something stupid. Or the content creators would do a story on her. Nobody's done nothing on Ariane. Ariane is laid low. Martell must have told that girl, you go sit your butt down and get through school. Now he's saying he's working on some projects. I don't really believe that. I think he does that for the show. I think they are making ends meet somewhat, but Ariana is living in the house. And then he says, well, yeah, you got to take care of them, pay all their bills, do this, that, and the third. I'm like, you're doing all of that. And then he realizes you telling Ken, Trish talking all that mess to you, and you letting her get away with it, and you paying all the bills and taking care of her. And then he realized, hell, you're doing the same thing. So you're just as big a sucker as Ken, if that's what you're trying to say, insinuate. Everything you said Ken doing, you doing for Ariana. Ken's not living in the house, neither are you. I'm just saying. I think Ken's gonna go back to the house, but you still in a conundrum. I don't know why Martell is on this show. All he do is sit around and give bad advice. I'm sorry. I know he's an executive producer, one of the original, quote, got credit for the original founders of the show, but he ain't saying nothing. He's not saying nothing at all. Telling that man he need a woman he can control. If you don't go sit somewhere and shut up talking about, women got options now. That's why they give up on relationships. Is that why? Are you trying to say that's what happened in your relationship? Because that lady didn't give up. You cheated and had a baby up behind her back. She walked away from a bad situation. She was supposed to still fight for that. Fight for what? Fight for you? Allowing your side piece to disrespect her and all that other stuff. There's no need for her to fight. And according to Martell, put that woman on lockdown, and he making sure the next person ain't going nowhere. Just my opinion. Now, after that, the guys just laughing and everything about it. I'm just like, I will say this again and again. Fletcher was trying to make headway with Ken, telling Ken not to do this, not to do that. Don't listen to Martell. You can't be out here controlling women. I just hope Ken did not listen. I say this to anybody. Don't take marriage advice from people who aren't married currently at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like if Martell was in a happy marriage, then you could be giving that man advice. You destroyed your marriage and now you got some young chick that you can control and you think you're doing something. And I'm not even going to call her, disrespect her, or call her any type of names because at this point, she's part of the family. So I'll leave it at that. But Martell, you ain't that bright. Stop playing with people. Then the ladies meet, and first thing first, Kimmy finds out that Tisha and Marceau are finishing up a project and about to list it, and didn't ask her own sister-in-law. Imagine that. And you out here windmilling for Letitia, Kimmy, and she still don't see you in that way. That's money y'all could have made amongst the Scott family. And she's looking at her, giving her that side eye, like, wait a minute, you listing something? No, you got a sister-in-law as a realtor, and I didn't get to listen. And Letitia was trying her best to squirm out of that, making up all she could. Nothing she said makes sense. Well, I don't have the time, but I hired these people. That way they can let me know. Girl, Kimmy, your own sister-in-law don't like you like that. Y'all just two peas in a pot that like to start trouble. But at the end of the day, I don't think y'all care for each other too much. That was weird to me. Now, Destiny comes in, they sit down to have a conversation. And Letitia is still mad at Destiny about some stuff that happened months ago with Nail. And she's still harboring some slight feelings about the stuff Martell said because Destiny took allegedly Nail and Martell's side. And she's like, you need to pick a side, Tisha. We not in in high school. She don't have to pick a side. She's a grown woman. She can pick the side of right. Or she can say, I ain't picking nobody's side. Y'all work that out amongst each other. So you mad at Destiny because she won't choose you over Nell. But you sat there and chose another lady over your sister-in-law to sell your property. How about that? Kimmy should be pissed off at you at this point because what you did may have cost her money in commission. I'm just saying. Now, Martell said Destiny, he called her up to get her a listing to sell. Destiny didn't return. Martell ain't mad at Destiny. He said, oh, well, she missed out on the money. Kim, I mean, not Kim, Tisha, I just don't understand. Are you put in by the producers to get the pot going, to get the storyline going, to start the freaking mess? From where I'm standing, you didn't ask Destiny anything about what was going on in her real life. You came in on 10 about Nell, the fight, who you loyal to, and all of that shit. When Destiny just showed us a scene where she about to go to Detroit to meet her 7 siblings or 6, how many is left that's still here with us, that she ain't seen in 27 years, and deal with her mama who's in an addict, and maybe that was said and maybe was cut out. But you would think if she told you that, you would have compassion for what she about to go through in real life. But instead, you still worried about some high school shit. And then telling her, you coming in here with this energy. No, Destiny came in here pretty nice. She already knew it was going to be some BS. She took a shot and you started going in, instigating, 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 instigating. And you telling her that she gaslighting and trying to play the victim. No, you were the one gaslighting. You the one throwing the gas, putting the fire on it. Destiny was just trying to calm it down like, hey, I ain't got time for all this. I don't know if you was just creating a storyline, and then at the end you tell Destiny, "Oh, well, all you gonna do is go and tell everybody we ganged up on you and gaslit lit you and played the victim." You did all of that. Destiny didn't play victim. Destiny said, "I ain't got to do that." Destiny stood and sat in that shit, and I ain't no big Destiny fan. But Tisha, you was out of line, very immature, and this what I mean by growth. I seen Kimmy and Maurice, as much as I don't care for them too much, I seen growth. I seen in that moment when Maurice realized I got to do better by my wife and I got to watch the words that come out of my mouth. I seen Kimmy saying, I'm going to fight for my marriage because this is where I want to be. Now, at the end of the day, these storylines could have been out a long time ago, but these two people were focused on a previous castmate. So I will say that I've seen Chris and Nell, they're going through some stuff and it's going to be hard for them, but I've seen the growth in their relationship, and now they're going to have to stand the test of time till Chris get his license back. There's some growth there. I've actually seen some growth in Destiny. She's opening up more, showing her real life. I see some growth there. Okay. I'm not going to say there's growth in Martell too much, but at least he's not talking about the ex and referencing maybe having a future with the current girlfriend down the road. Just a snippet of growth. Ken and Trisha, they are still working through their stuff. They're past the whole Marquez thing, and now they're trying to decide, can we withstand this and stay married, or do we need to go apart because we got some trust issues and we got to fix that growth? But where are we at with Letitia? And I'm not even, they didn't show Marceau, so I don't know what he got going on, but I'm sure he out there working hard somewhere building something. And apparently we're gonna see a finished project soon because she showed us a little picture of a house they're trying to sell. But where's Letitia's growth? Letitia's still 6 seasons behind, stirring up the pot, starting crap, harassing people, and this is only the first episode. You bringing stuff that happened all the way back to the game day in the park where you felt Destiny took Martell's side when they was talking about you in the Buick and all of that, to now the 90s party, till what happened with Nell telling you that Letitia Scott, got to keep her name. You still bringing all of this up and arguing with Destiny because she won't pick a side. And Destiny is telling you, you're saying, well, you knew Nell Fletcher longer than you knew us, and you knew Martell longer than you knew us. So I understand that, but we're friends now. Girl, who does that, Letitia Scott? Letitia Scott. Letitia Scott, come to the front. For the love of God, grow the fuck up. You are a grown woman, hitting 40, kids in college, and you still playing these high school games, trying to be the popular club. Like, if you and I, my friend, you can't be her friend. That's shit you do in high school, trying to be the popular girl on campus. Stop it. Destiny, I don't even care for Destiny now to say that before, but she has the right to choose who she want to talk to, hang out with. You don't get to control a grown person's who they associate with and don't associate with. I don't know where you do that at, but you don't get to do that. And Kimmy sitting right there in the middle the whole time, looking back and forth. And she'll throw a little out here and throw a little out there. But I still think Kimmy was a little pissed when she found out Letitia listed that damn house without asking or advising her, knowing she's a realtor. That shows you all the side of Letitia you need to know, Kimmy. But because you married to a Scott, you're going to stay loyal to Scott 2.0 and 1.0. Even though she just slapped in your face. She slapped you in the face with that one. Because I would have had an issue like, wait a minute, sis. We supposed to be sister-in-laws. This is a potential cash for me, some money I can make to bring it to the Scott's, generational wealth family, and you're gonna give it to somebody else, or either have me come in as an assistant listing, like we could split the commission together. No, you just gonna give it to somebody else. That's how much confidence she had in you, Kimmy. But she got you around here. You got her back everywhere you go. You should be just taking up for Letitia. You are being her lap dog, covering her back. If she say it, then you say it. And she didn't even take enough for you to give you a house to list. All right, I done talked enough about this episode. Ooh, child. It's gonna be a hell of a season, I can tell you that. But like I said before, Tisha, grow up. That's it. That's probably the biggest thing I got out of this whole 30-minute commentary is that lady still hasn't grown past the first 3 or 4 seasons. her growth is has been stunt on this show, and other people are actually improving their storylines. Now, even Martell, and but even Martell is coming to the realization that he probably never going to marry Ariane. But on the show, he pretends like he's moving past that. We all know he still think there's an inkling or a crack somewhere that he may be able to get his marriage back. That'll never happen. But I think in Martell's mind, because he's so narcissistic, I believe he does believe that. And that's why he's keeping that door open. And he would not marry Ariane because he believes if he marry Ariane, he knows for sure that door is closed. Just my opinion. But Ariane, that man is paying for your school, paying your bills, buying your car, or whatever it is he paying for you. Baby, you going to pay all that back in the end. You will pay all of that. He going to work you like a slave. You watch and see. Just my opinion. And with that being said, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for listening to my commentary. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. And I'm gonna get out here tonight and start watching these. Oh Lord, I think who's come on tonight? Married to Medicine people, because I think the Housewives finished their part 3 of the reunion. So I'm going out here and watch these Married to Medicine and see what Dr. Jackie and that big ass mouth Heavenly is talking about this week. And get back to you probably tomorrow and do a quick commentary on it. You guys have a great evening. Pray for our country. I always say this: pray for our country, pray for our troops all over the world, because it's not easy. This is real life here. This is really what's going on. Doing these commentaries is a way to get away from what's going on in the world. But at the end of the day, we cannot forget the world in which we live in today. All right. And all we can do at this point is leave it up to God. So you guys be safe. Have a great rest of your day. And this is Gen X Nation. Peace. And I'm out.